So let's rank all the films that I watched for the first time for the month of March 2026. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and today I'm going to be bringing to you my March 2026 first time watches ranking. I calculated and wrote everything now. I've watched an overall total of 25 films for the first time ever. And, well, it's a big one, so I'm going to try and go quickly and why if I can. But if I get tied up with one, apologies. But this should go through smoothly. So if you're ready, let's start the ranking. Sit back, relax, and here we go. Coming in at number 25 is Minnie's Midnight Massacre. Now, this was released not so long ago. Full movie's currently available on Tubi, while this is another one that Minnie takes a follow up since Mickey and Me entered the public domain with Steamboat Willie. This is kind of another take on, but different though. Anyway, I probably don't think I should reveal, but it's about Willie's first mate me who goes on a killing spree when seeking revenge against three childhood bullies who are girls who tortured her as a teenager. The film's a little sleazy, but pretty sick and sick though in one part. But I won't get on the subject for that. If you got the guts to watch this film, then you're more than welcome to. But believe me, I think I like this a little bit more than the Mousetrap, but it's still not that great of a movie, though. I do appreciate having someone killing girls, though, but enough said about it. Now, coming in at number 24 is Bambi: The Reckoning from last year in 2025. Now, I've already done a spoiler-free review of this. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. About a mother and son who get in a car wreck and soon become hunted by a mutated, grief-stricken deer. That's a dark, mutated Bambi on a deadly rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother and mate. This film's pretty dark, but pretty. Well, you get what I'm saying if you've seen my review already. It's in some of the TCU, the Twisted Childhood Universe. I hope for the best Pinocchio and Strong turns out okay, but well, that'll be safe for another time when it comes out, okay? But Bambi the Reckoning, it's fine, why have you? I mean, at least I kind of liked it just about a little more over Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. And coming in at number 23 is Shadow Force, also from last year. Now, this is about a couple who were once, well, leads of a multinational special forces group known as the Shadow Force. But they broke the rules by falling in love, and, well, in order to protect their son, they go underground. But with a bounty on their heads, well, they go on the trail of these bad guys, in my view. This film's okay, but it's not that great, though. I do like the performances from the lead performances of Omar Sy and Kerry Washington. They were pretty good. Little boy Joe Leo Camaras, pretty good too. That's kid who plays his son. Mark Strong from Shazam's in this. Yeah, he's the main villain. Yeah, well, the film's okay. It's not that great of an action film, but it's okay though. Next at number 22 is Primate. Now, this came out earlier this year. Of course, it's about a college student along with her friends who spend their vacation at her family's home in Hawaii, which includes a pet chimpanzee named Ben. However, when the chimp contracts rabies after being bitten by a rabid animal, the group must fight for their lives in order to avoid this now violent chimp. I recently did a spoiler-free review of this. This film's okay. I mean, I did like some of the kills, and the the chimp Ben, yeah, not too bad. But, well, it's just that it had flaws in my view, but still, it was fine, why have you, from what I've seen of it. Check out my review if you haven't seen it yet. And coming in at number 21 is Pretty Lethal. Now, this was featured in a recent mini reviews vid I had done. The other film from that's coming up about a troop of ballerinas who find themselves fighting for survival as they attempt to escape from a remote inn after their bus breaks down on the way to a dance competition. The film's also okay. I mean, it feels like a little bit of mix of John Wick and its recent spin-off Ballerina rolled into one in a way. But I did like the performances of the gals, May Ziegler, Lara Con, no, not Laura, Lana Condor, excuse me, Iris Apatow, and even Avantika and Millicent Simmons from A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part Two. They were all good, but I was surprised to see Uma Thurman in this as she played a villainess. Yeah, not too bad. Check out this film if you'd like. It's on Prime Video for free. Check it. Well, if not maybe not for free, but if you're on Prime Video, you should check it out though if you'd like, because it's not too bad. Next at number 20 is Jackie Brown from 1997. Now, this is the first time I watched the film in its entirety, even though I saw maybe a little bit of it a long time ago. It's about a flight attendant who gets caught in the middle of smuggling cash into the country for her gunrunner boss. And when the cops try to use her to get to her boss, she hatches a plan with help from a bail bondsman to keep the money for herself. This film's not too bad. I mean, with it being done by the great Quentin Tarantino, who also wrote the screenplay, it's not too bad. The pretty good. Maybe not one of my favorite Tarantino flicks, but it's still pretty good with its homage to the '70s blaxploitation flicks, which includes some of the stuff that Pam Grier, who played the titular character, did. Two of them are still ahead on this ranking. But Jackie Brown, it's not too bad of a movie. Check it out. I did do a review of that, so check it out. Next at number 19 is Greenland from 2020. Now, this is a film about a man and his estranged wife and young son embarking on a perilous journey to find sanctuary as a planet killing comet hurls toward Earth. And well, this family experienced the best and worst in humanity amid terrifying accounts of cities getting leveled. I'm gonna say this film's not too bad. A little different than what I expected, but it was fine. Why with a Gerard Butler, Maria Baccarin, yeah, and other people. They're not too bad. I'll possibly watch its sequel and possibly review it with this along. Well, sometime down the road along the way. You know what I'm saying? Greenland, not too bad. Not too bad. A little different than what I hoped for, but it was fine. Why have you? And coming in at number 18 is The Bluff. Now, this is a new pirate film on Prime Video about a skilled ex-pirate who, is about to go up against her former captain. And I gotta say, it turns out to be a real bloody sword fight. Why have you? Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Carl Urban absolutely do a pretty good job on their performances in this film. This is a pretty good swashbuckling film. I think this is a film worth looking into. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet to hear more of my thoughts on this. And coming in at number 17 is Sheba Baby from 1975. Now this is one of two Pam Grier films that came out that year. The other one's just about to come up on this ranking. About a Chicago private detective who returns back home to Louisville, Kentucky to help her father fight mobsters. I gotta say, this is kind of an underrated film. Well, it wasn't quite as big as her other films that came out before us, like Coffee or even Foxy Brown. I will say this film's pretty good, though it has its issues, and it got a PG rating, unlike those two and the next film come up on the ranking. But Sheba Baby's pretty good. I actually thought it was not too bad. I liked its little 70s feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is a pretty good blaxploitation flick. You need to check out. Check out my review if you haven't seen it yet. Next at number 16, here's that other film with Pam Grier, also from '75, and that film is none other than Friday Foster. Now, this, of course, based off of a recent comic strip that lasted from 71 to. Or, no, wait, it was 70 to 74. Not my mistake. Anyway, now this is Pam Grier's other film from 75 about a magazine photographer who goes to LA International Airport, which is LAX, if I'm not mistaken, to photograph the arrival of the richest black man in America. But 3 men attempt to assassinate him, and well, Friday Foster photographs the melee as plunged into a web of conspiracy involving the murder of her childhood friend, a U.S. senator, and a shadowy plan called Black Widow. Check out my review of this if you haven't seen it yet. This film's pretty good. I actually liked it for what it had to offer and then for its black exploitation feel to it. Definitely. Next at number 15 is Mike and Nick and Alice. Now, this is a new Hulu film about two gangsters and the woman they love try to survive the most dangerous night of their lives. As if that wasn't enough, there's one wild ingredient added into the mix: a time machine. I thought this film was pretty good. I mean, it has some pretty funny moments and some pretty cool action scenes. Vince Vaughn really steals the show in two roles, playing both, well, the regular Nick and the Nick of the future. Like James Marsden's performance, he was good. Isaac Gonzalez, good. They were all pretty good. Check out this and what have you, and hear my thoughts about it in the recent mini reviews vid I did of with this and Pretty Lethal. I think you'll enjoy it. The film's on Hulu. And next up at number 14 is War Machine. This is a new Netflix film about, well, that takes place during Army Ranger training on one last grueling mission where a combat engineer who must lead his unit in a fight against a giant otherworldly killing machine, which this turned out to be really awesome. Believe me, and this thing, well, uses a special kind of I don't know, kind of being the skin when it turns red, it instantly will kill him. I must admit, this film's pretty cool. I mean, with Alan Ritchson and Dennis Quaid, and others, I thought this film was absolutely very good. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it yet. War Machine, pretty darn awesome. These next three films on the rank again all came out last year in 2025. So coming in at number 13 is Predator Badlands. This is the newest installment of the Predator franchise and what has now become the most successful film in the franchise. I have to admit this is pretty good, despite it got a PG-13 rating, but still it proved to be pretty awesome and pretty action packed. Only of course it involves a predator who's about to become like a hero or something like that. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. This is pretty good. It is streaming on Hulu. And, well, that's about all I can say. It's a pretty good Predator film. And coming in number 12 is the remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, this film's pretty good. I liked it just about as much as, well, actually, not just about, but just as much as the original. Roland Campbell does a very good job in playing Billy. I mean, we got some other good performances. Ruby Modine, and what else can I say? They were pretty good. I think the kills were pretty intense and, well, pretty bloody and what have you. So I gotta say, this film was just so good for a Christmas horror thriller. You know what I'm saying? You gotta check this one out. If you like the original, I think you're gonna like this one just as much. Definitely. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it yet. I know you'll enjoy it. And coming in at number 11 is Rental Family. Now, Brendan Fraser does an amazing job on this, who happens to be playing an American actor in Tokyo who struggles to find purpose until he lands an unusual gig, working for a Japanese rental family agency. playing stand-in roles for strangers. As he immerses himself in his client's world, he begins to form genuine bonds that blur the lines between performance and reality. I think Fraser does an amazing job in this. I like the performances we got from the cast. The little girl he takes care of and is pretty good too. So this is not too bad of a movie. Check it out. The film's currently on Hulu. Don't worry, you may know that these films are all a lot of these films are also on physical media, so don't mind me mentioning the streaming. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen this. If you haven't seen it yet, for more details. Now for the top 10. Coming in at number 10 is 28 years later, The Bone Temple. This film follows up after the events of last year's big hit of 28 years later, as Dr. Kelson finds himself in a shocking new relationship with consequences that could change the world as they know it, and Spike's encounter with Jimmy Crystal becomes a nightmare he can't escape. Nia DaCosta does a pretty good job in directing this. Alex Garland is back on board as the director. I mean, not director, I mean, writer. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. My bad. Ray Fiennes is back as Dr. Kelson. He does a pretty good job. It has some pretty good performances from other cast members, and I think it is not too bad. It comes on par with its predecessor, despite it failed at the box office. But however, we are gonna get another one. But I'll explain more when I give you my spoiler-free review in the next vid. Now, coming in at number 9 is Hamnet from last year. Now, this award winning film, directed by Chloe Zhao, was not too bad. It's the powerful story of love and loss that inspired the creation of William Shakespeare's timeless masterpiece, Hamlet. Sorry, I can't get that word out of my mouth, my bad. But I've got to say, the performances we got from the cast, Paul Mescal as William Shakespeare himself, the young version of him, pretty good. Emily Watson's good. But it's Jessie Buckley who really did well after winning the Academy Award for Best Actress as Agnes. She does a great job, and I have to admit, she's amazing in this. So, this isn't too bad of a film. I actually liked it. A little, kind of slightly a little good than I had anticipated, but still pretty good, though. And coming in at number 8 is The Housemaid, also from last year in 2025. Now, I got to admit, this film was really twisted, but pretty good. Sydney Sweeney was absolutely amazing in this. I really liked her performance. Amanda Seyfried was good. Brendan Sklenar was good. Well, I'll tell you more about it when I review it. Of course, it's about a woman who accepts a job as a live-in housemaid for a wealthy woman and her husband. But what begins as a dream job quickly unravels into something far more dangerous. But I'll explain more when I do a spoiler free review of this later in the month. Now, coming in at number 7 is Sisu from 2022. This is about an ex soldier who discovers gold in the Lapland wilderness who tries to take the loot into the sea, and German soldiers led by a brutal SS officer battle him. This film's pretty intense and what have you, but I liked it. It was pretty bloody and pretty awesome. I did see its sequel as well, which that's still hell in this ranking. Be ready for it. I will review this sometime sooner, okay? But Sisu was pretty good. The main character was really good, but I think this film is pretty darn awesome. Next at number 6 is The Delta Force from 1986. This is one of two films that I had reviewed and checked out with the late great Chuck Norris after his death last month. Check out my review if you haven't seen it yet, because it's gotten less reviews than the film that's come up after this. But anyway, this film's pretty awesome and pretty cool. He and Lee Marvin did great in their performances. I also like the rest of the cast. They were all pretty good. But I gotta say, the action was pretty cool and what have you, so you gotta check it out. This is a good film with the late great Mr. Norris, and it's awesome. I will check out its sequel sooner or later, though. Definitely. Next at number 5 is Missing in Action from 1984. This ended up being the third most viewed vid on the channel last month. And I gotta say, this is a great film with Mr. Norris. And it's about a special forces colonel who is on mission to locate and save remaining MIAs, which that's missing in actions. This is another good film. Emmett Walsh is in this. He's pretty good. The rest of the cast is not too bad, but I gotta say, this was one of his most popular films. So rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Check out my review of this if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this, which I did in memoriam to Mr. Norris. Such a great film. Next up at number 4 is Sisu, Road to Revenge from last year. This was more awesome. I liked it just a little more than the first one, but this was so awesome. Where the main character returns to the house where his family was brutally murdered during the war. Atami, I hope that's how you pronounce it, aka the man who refuses to die, dismantles it and loads it on a truck and is determined to rebuild it somewhere safe in their honor. But the commander who killed his family comes back, hell-bent on finishing the job. Well, a relentless, eye-popping cross-country chase ensues. But again, as I said, I think this was more awesome. I liked it just a tad bit more than the first one. I'll talk more about this when I do a review of it. But this film was pretty darn bloody awesome. And coming in at number 3 is Hoppers. Now, this is Disney and Pixar's newest film. Check out my spoiler free review if you haven't seen it yet. This is a pretty awesome film about this, well, animal lover who seizes an opportunity to use the new technology these scientists have created on how to hop human consciousness into lifelike robotic animals. And believe me, it turns out to be a real fun film. It has a great voice acting cast and great characters. Check out my spoiler free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. Now for the final two. This was a tough decision to make, as usual, because we got one big film that really blew up this past month, and one film that ended up being the newest top film of last year. So what are they, you ask? Glad you asked. Coming in at number 2 is Project Hail Mary. This is based on the book of the same name about a science teacher who wakes up on a spaceship light years from home with no recollection of who he is or how he got there. But as his memory returns, he begins to uncover his mission, solve the riddle of the mysterious substance causing the sun to die out. And he even meets a strange creature who he calls Rocky. Anyway, Ryan Gosling does a great job in playing the main character of Ryland Grace. This film so far has done pretty well for Amazon MGM, and this has already become their biggest, probably one of their biggest films they put out to this day. This film's pretty awesome, and it's great. Check out my spoiler-free review if you haven't seen it yet. But if Project Hail Mary's second, then my number one first-time watch of March 2026 is none other than Zootopia 2 from last year. Now, this unexpectedly just blew through the gates and well, I don't want to talk more about how it just became the new improved top film of last year. But enough said about that. I don't really want to cause any controversy or be rude to all you lovers of this film, because I know a lot of you love this film. I actually love the film as well. After watching it on Disney Plus, I've got to say this is a good sequel and a great way to continue the story. I mean, Ginnifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman return as our two main characters. And I've got to say, it's an awesome sequel, and it's pretty fun. It has its fun moments. So if you haven't seen my review of that one yet, you should check it out. Zootopia 2 is pretty fun. Well, 2 is. The new character, the snake, voiced by Ke Huy Quan, very good. So anyway, I just liked it. It had some good action, good fun moments, and all that jazz. Zootopia 2, awesome. It's my top first time watch of March 2026. So that's it for this ranking. What did you think of this ranking? What were your first time watches of March 2026? Give me your top pick, your top 3, top 5, top 10, whatever you want. Leave them for me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a spoiler-free review of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So if you like this, check out my reviews for the top 3 films on this ranking. The upper left-hand corner is my review of Zootopia 2. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Project Hail Mary. And the bottom left-hand corner is the review of Hoppers. And of course, Zootopia 2 was the most watched vid on the channel last month. The bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.